I'm actually doing a collective reading tonight for the full moon in Capricorn. I'm just waiting till a few people get into the room. I'm going to be covering, you know, basics. I'm going to be covering career. I'm going to be covering love. How it's going to affect us all. Take that and see how it applies to you. I will say that the individual signs that will be affected the most, though, is Taurus, Cancers, Virgos, Scorpios, Capricorns, and Pisces. Obviously, definitely Capricorns. Probably a lot of earth energies. Lots of times people think that Capricorns are a water sign because they are known as the sea goat. They are not a water sign, they are an earth sign. It's pretty funny how some of those zodiac signs are, aren't they? A sea goat. Or like the Cancers, the crab, or the Pisces is two fish. Amira, honey, I'm sure you will. You can literally do anything you put your mind to if you try. Literally anything. Aquarius is actually an air sign. A lot of people think that Aquarius is actually a water sign because of the woman pouring the jug, but you don't know anything about your sign? When's your birthday, Momo? I could tell you what your sign is. You're an Aries? Oh, I have an Aries moon. My mom was an Aries. You're a Virgo. I'm a Virgo rising. My boss is a Virgo. I know quite a few Virgos. My father-in-law's a Virgo. I'm a Libra, so not anything for me tonight. No, 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 no. The Capricorn full moon affects everybody. It's just when it comes to certain energies, it's going to affect certain signs more stronger, you know. Stephanie, when's your birthday, honey? I can tell you what your zodiac sign is. If you don't know what your zodiac sign is. I'm Aquarius, but Scorpio rising. I get it. Oh, you're okay, Momo. Oof, my goodness. Let me tell you, Momo. If you're an Aquarius with a Scorpio rising, I can see how you are into some really crazy shit. But you also have this deep sentimental side about those you care about. But oh my, let me tell you, if somebody makes you mad, nope. Yep. Oh, yeah. What's your Momo, what's your husband's zodiac sign? This should be interesting. Oh, he's an Aquarius as well? Oh my god. You two must, like, when it's good. But when you two are upset with each other, I bet you guys fight like cats and dogs. Like, you guys can have a lot of fun together. But like when you guys are, you know, upset with each other, unless you've gotten to a point in your relationship where you have, yes, unless you guys have gotten to a point in your relationship where you are just really good with communication and figuring that stuff out, no. Oh boy. That's rough, man. Bless you for that, though. It's brutal, yep. Alrighty. I guess we'll get started. What is the overall energy for the collective for Capricorn? What are some things? The world. Okay. So I'm getting that with this full moon that's coming on tonight, we're going to be basically having some closures with some things, but also starting some new chapters. So It's almost like that point in your life where you feel like you've gone through a certain phase with something when it comes to lessons or relationships or people. And it's just coming to that precipice where it's like you're closing that chapter of your life and you're starting anew. We're at that point at the top of the mountain there where it's going to be starting a new journey. And that is what the full moon in Capricorn is going to be bringing this evening. So, but that can also be a positive thing because life has ebbs and flows like that, you know, where we, you know, we move on to different chapters of our life. And it could be a matter of like ending relationships, starting relationships, learning who we are, healing past traumas, starting new jobs, quitting your job. Maybe there is different passions that you've had that you've wanted to pursue but you haven't pursued and been afraid to pursue, and now you're deciding that you want to pursue them. So like I said, it's like right with the full moon of Capricorn is going to be bringing new beginnings as well as endings, but not in a bad way, because it's, you know, life is all about going through phases like that in lessons. So it's a good thing because that's how we grow. Let me see. What else do we have? But there's definitely going to be happier times coming with this full moon. Ah, okay, yeah. So a lot of times with the Capricorn energy is we have that like strong work ethic. We have that wanting to get things done. We have that strong, eager urge to be motivated to do things. So especially with, you know, having the World card tonight for the Capricorn full moon, that makes a lot of sense because, like I said, we're wrapping things up and beginning new chapters in our life, beginning new things in our life. So with the Capricorn energy, it's basically saying that we are going to be, this full moon is going to bring us the energy and the momentum that we need to put in the discipline and the hard work towards these new things that we want to start in our life. Maybe you want to, you know, start a new diet, or maybe you've been really struggling with a new diet or a new hobby you've been working with. It could be anything. It could be learning how to crochet. It could be learning how to play a guitar. It could be you're trying to learn a new skill because of a new job that you're wanting to do, or just something that you genuinely have interest in. The full moon in Capricorn this evening is going to really bring that energy in so we can overcome these hurdles, so we can have the motivation and the hard work and the discipline to continue to work on these things and conquer these things, as well as start new chapters. So we have balance, spirituality, and practicality. So something that a lot of people have been struggling with here lately, I've noticed, since the last new moon and this full moon, is balance with spirituality and practicality. Balance overall in general is very important in our lives. And I know that it's really hard to do that sometimes between you know, work or school, our families, our romantic relationships, our friends, our own self-care routines, things that we're supposed to be doing for ourselves, spending time with our children, working on hobbies. It's really hard to balance all that stuff. But this new moon, which goes along with the World card and, you know, new chapters, new beginnings, is really going to be bringing in energy to help us learn how to balance things in our life more. And it would be really good to try to figure out ways to balance your life. Maybe go over your schedule and look and see what you got going on and figure out a regular schedule so you can squeeze things in so you can balance things out more. It could also be like but when you're doing that, make sure that you don't burn yourself out, because like I said, I know this is Capricorn energy from this full moon. So make sure that you space things out so you have time for decompression and transition through these things. Because if you don't, unless you're one of those people that are just go, 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 you're going to burn yourself out, and it's going to be really hard to maintain balance. And the whole point of it is to have balance. So, and also, you know, the energy is gaining momentum. The energy from this full moon is going to be giving us, like, over the next month, we're probably going to be feeling like the energy is gaining momentum. So all this new parts of our life that is starting with this new chapter is going to be gaining momentum, and we're going to be like seeing it, feeling it, and this applies to everything in our life. All these new things that we're starting. It might even get to a point to where we're like, whoa, you know, all these things that I was hoping for or I was trying for is kind of happening really quickly, which is really important with trying to maintain balance, because there's nothing wrong with things going really well and gaining momentum like that. But there's also, you know, everything needs to be in moderation as well, because too much of a good thing can also be a bad thing. So we need to concentrate on that as well. And right now, with this new moon, it would be a really good time to take action. I know that we have Mercury retrograde knocking on our door here. I believe it is next month. I think it's, I forgot, but I think it's the first week of August is when Mercury retrograde comes around. Right now, we're in the shadow period. So, I know that also means during Mercury retrograde that it's also not a good idea to make any big purchases, sign any, you know, legal documents, don't make any last minute plans. So basically, you know, you'll be fine. Don't stress, don't freak out. Just make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. Anything you had going on or had thought about doing before Mercury retrograde started, it's perfectly okay to do. I don't want everybody freaking out about that, going, oh my God, you know, I had been thinking about starting this new business, but I haven't actually initiated it yet. Should I wait? You can still do it, you know, because these thoughts were still there before Mercury retrograde. Just make sure that if you do these things that, you know, you dot your I's, you cross your T's, you make sure that you don't have communication issues with people and whoever you're working with this stuff, because that's going to make things difficult for you. And you are going to run into hiccups along the way. And of course, you know, with Mercury retrograde coming, you know, we also have to be careful of, you know, different things with our technology is going to be acting crazy and haywire. People might not get emails. People might not get text messages. People might not get phone calls. So I could see how that would cause a lot of problems with communication with a lot of different relationships, not only work relationships, but love relationships, friendships, people getting upset with each other because they think they're being ignored, whatever that is. So just make sure that if things like that happen, don't overreact, take a deep breath, and just make sure that there wasn't like a communication issue. And it could be just overall communication in two. It doesn't necessarily have to be just technology. Just in general, during Mercury retrograde, there can be communication issues. And then you throw in the full moon in Capricorn that we are having this evening and the gaining momentum and taking action. You know, there's a saying that I like to say is my mind was going faster than my ass. Excuse my French. So basically what's that saying is that you are doing too much at once and you can't keep up with it. So you need to just make sure that you slow down and pay attention to things, pay attention to people, and everything will work out fine and everything will be smooth sailing. And that doesn't mean that you have to slow down completely, because like I said, you're supposed to be gaining momentum, and that's a good thing because we're going to be accomplishing all these new things with this new chapter that's going to be starting for us with this full moon, which is actually really exciting. So let's see what we have in regards to romantic relationships with this full moon that's going to be bringing up for us. Also this month you might be having issues with higher demands at work. Your boss might be calling you in more. You might have to cover more shifts. It might seem like that workload that gets plopped on your desk is a little higher than it was last week. It's going to be... Sorry, my fiance just messaged me something and I couldn't see it. I know he was trying to help me out. When is it? It'll be... Oh, okay, so August 5th is when it's Mercury retrograde. He was trying to help me out. I appreciate him for that. Okay, so in regards to relationships, like romantic relationships, this coming up month for full moon in Capricorn, we got the Fool. So that means, and it plays along well with the World card, because I said we're going to be ending chapters and beginning new chapters. So it could be like maybe things... Hi, Kel E8. I'm sorry. Hi, how are you? So we might be having like renewed things going on in our relationship, in a sense of like maybe you and your spouse haven't been doing much with each other here lately and you really miss each other, and you know, you start going on more dates, spending more time together, spending more quality time together, showing each other you care more, having new adventures with each other. So it's new beginnings. It's really positive, fun, adventurous beginnings with our romantic relationships. It could be a matter of like you guys are trying to be more experimental in the bedroom, being more open in that aspect with each other, trying to have more fun, more openness with each other, things in that sort of way. So that's actually really exciting. Let's see what else we got. You could have moments where you get to know each other more. You might find out something new about your spouse that you didn't know about. And it's crazy because you can be with your spouse for like a million years and sometimes you'll still find out something that you never knew. Okay. So another thing with our romantic relationships this month, like I said, especially with Mercury retrograde coming and, you know, not worrying about communication, we need to make sure that we are using our intuition about things and paying attention when we are trying to communicate with our spouse. That way we can avoid conflict with each other. Because if, you know, you're just assuming things, you're not listening to your spouse and having them, you know, they need to listen to you as well. But if you're not listening to your spouse, you're jumping to conclusions, you're not trying to have patience and understanding with your spouse, there is going to be communication issues. So with this, it's saying that if you're making certain decisions with your spouse this month, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to your communication issues. Along with the World card, because I got the Two of Swords. So along with the World card, if, like I said, it's a new chapter and there's things are ending and things are beginning. With the Two of Swords, it could also be there might be some people that are ending relationships this month. They are breaking up. They decided they're going to go through a divorce. Now, I'm not... Oh, hi, Sydney. How are you? I missed you, too. I hope you're doing well, honey. I don't know, honey. I'm doing a collective reading for the Capricorn moon right now. There might be some issues this coming up month where, you know, there might be people going through divorces, people breaking up, people, you know, but you need to use your inner wisdom and your inner intuition with that. It could be a matter of maybe somebody is telling you things about your significant other that isn't good. Maybe they're messing around or something like that, you know. And lots of times when things like that are going on, if they're lying to you, cheating, whatever it is, you already know. Unfortunately, everybody usually already knows. It's, you know, they know inside, they know in their gut what's going on. So you need to use your own inner wisdom and your own intuition with that to make the decisions that you need to make that works best for you and makes you happy and helps you move on in a way to where you can continue to grow. Now, I'm not saying that everybody is going to break up this month, so don't freak out. If you are going through a hard time with your spouse right now, that doesn't mean that you guys are going to break up this month either. I'm just saying that there is some people who are at that point in their relationships, unfortunately, and this month is when it'll probably happen, especially with it being Mercury retrograde and people already feeling fed up about whatever's going on, and then there's miscommunication issues, and that just kind of is the thing that breaks the camel's back, and they decide to move on and continue with their lives in a different direction. So let's see what we got in regards to work and career. What is this Capricorn new moon going to bring us in regards to work and career? Okay, so we have harmony. It's important for you to have a quiet, peaceful work atmosphere in order for you to thrive. Working at home or for yourself is best. Okay, so basically what this is saying is, which we were talking about, you know, balance with your life, endings of chapters. This is saying that for some of you, it might be best to try to get a work from home job. It's also saying that it would be really good for you this month to try to work on maybe even finding a job that is better for you in a sense of your inner peace. Lots of times we have jobs that, I mean, if you can, I get it. Like right now, I'm at a job where I can't really leave just yet, but that's a work in progress. So if you're able to, and if you're working somewhere that is stressing you out, making you absolutely miserable, like you absolutely dread going into work in the morning, it's saying that right now would be a really good time to find other work or find a way to make that job less miserable for yourself. Whether it's moving to a different department or talking to your boss about like different struggles you're having so you can lighten your workload a little bit. Things along those lines. I know there's a lot of people that's doing work from home jobs right now. And there's a lot of jobs out there that's work from home, especially if you're somebody who deals with anxiety. You know, you're an introvert, you don't really like dealing with people, stuff like that. That would be really good for you to try to do this month. And like I said, and I'm probably going to say this a million more times through this live, with Mercury retrograde happening, you know, make sure that, you know, if you do try to get a work from home job, that when it comes to emails and phone calls and all that stuff, you just follow up and make sure everything goes through okay. Oh, it does, Sharon? Oh, gosh. Well, I'm glad I'm onto something here. Thank you for that confirmation. I appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. Okay, so we also have courage. Ask what you are afraid of so you can overcome what's holding you back now. There are leadership opportunities for the taking. So basically what it's the energy and what Spirit is asking us to do with the energy that's happening with this full moon is sometimes we will want to do things in life to move ahead with our career, in a sense of like, maybe you want to see about asking for a raise. Maybe you want to see about applying for a job in a different department at your job that might be a step up from where you're at, but you're scared to. Maybe there's something you want to do or you want to start doing that is kind of scary to you, because maybe you just don't understand it, which is okay, because all you need to do is educate yourself on it. But the thought of it is scary. So sometimes when it comes to all these little things that we want to do in our lives to better ourselves or move ahead in regards to career, the thing that holds us back is fear. And lots of times when it comes to that, sorry, my mind just went, woo, gotta love ADHD, right? So when it comes to that, sometimes we have to, like, when you're trying to do something that is out of your comfort zone, that you're scared to do, it's hard to move out of that. And when we're trying to grow and have growth as an individual or do better for ourselves, you know, that can be uncomfortable sometimes. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And yes, it is, you know, unpleasant. But lots of times, things that is going to be better for us in the long run is getting out of our comfort zone and pushing through those uncomfortable feelings. Because I guarantee that once you do and you realize that you're able to do what it is you're wanting to do or accomplish these things, that you're going to have so much more confidence in yourself, and those feelings of discomfort will ease up and you won't feel so bad about it. But what Spirit is trying to say because of that, in regards to what I just said, is that we need to have courage, and we need to take a step back, and we need to ask ourselves, you know, why do I struggle with doing that? Why am I so afraid to ask, you know, my boss for that raise? Why am I so afraid to go back to school? Because sometimes when we self-reflect like that, we can get the answers that we're looking for. And once you know why you're, you know, afraid to do this, or what the problem is, and you narrow it down, it's easier to tackle those things. Like, let me see if I can give you guys an example. Like, let's say you want to ask your boss if you can work in a different department. Maybe it gives you anxiety because you're afraid to have that conversation with them because you're afraid they'll say no. Or you're just afraid to have that conversation in general because you're afraid your boss might get upset with you. You know, sometimes it's a matter of having the courage to do it anyways, even though it's uncomfortable and it's scary. And it's also a matter of how you approach it too. Usually you get more with honey than you do with vinegar, you know. So what Spirit is saying is this month, you know, try to figure out what it is that's holding you back like that. And try to build up the courage to accomplish these things. Because this month, especially with Capricorn energy from this full moon, and, you know, this gaining momentum and all this hard work, and, you know, beginning new chapters, right now is a really good time, even though Mercury retrograde is right around the corner, and there might be communication issues. Right now is a really good time to have that courage to do those things. So let's see what else we have. Yeah, like I said, spiritual work. Doing some inner work can help you get clear before you move on. You will get insights into what work will best serve your needs. So for those of you who, you know, you got to do some self-reflecting. You got to listen to your inner self. You have to ask these questions. For those who don't know what shadow work is, you can always Google it. Not right now, but down the road I do plan on having some digital materials in regards to shadow work. Because when you ask these questions about yourself, it gives you the answers you need so you can conquer these issues to move on to become who you want to be and what makes you happier and helps you heal to become who you want to be and accomplish all these goals that you have for yourself and for your inner healing and where you want to go with things that you want to do in life. So what it's like I was saying with having the courage to do it is you need to self-reflect. Also, any of you who might be on the more spiritual side, people have different practices. It doesn't matter if you pray, you meditate, maybe you just go for a walk in the woods. There's all sorts of different types of spiritual practices that people do to try to connect with their spiritual side and to connect with spirit and with God. It's saying that this month would also be a really good time for you to do that as well, because it will help you to receive balance that we were talking about earlier, to try to have balance in your life. But it will also help you, be able to self-reflect, to get the answers that you need for having the courage to accomplish these things that you're struggling with. All right. So let's see what I have. Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle deck. Let's see what we have from that. Some advice for this month, huh? Well, I already know that because of the whole thing with the World card and the Fool when we were talking about, new beginnings, endings of old chapters. Spiritual growth. You are currently experiencing a lesson required for your spiritual evolution. So, right now, with this transition that we've had, because the beginning of this year has been really crazy already with all these different transitions we've had with the planets and new moons and full moons and the energy overall. It's been crazy already. So basically it's saying that with this full moon in Capricorn that we're having, this Capricorn energy is really forcing us to buckle down and work on the things that we really need to work on. So it's saying that if there has been parts of you that have been hindered in regards to your spiritual growth, which is also a part of you as growth as a person, is really going to expand this month. So you need to work on your spiritual growth, and that could be anything. People practice in different ways. Generosity. Giving from your heart with no strings attached is what is needed now. So it's also talking about, basically good karma. What you put out will come back to you in a positive way, And it doesn't have to be with money. There's all sorts of things you can do. Anywhere from telling somebody that you absolutely love their hair to you hope they have an amazing day, giving somebody a hug. Maybe you're at the gas station and somebody's short $1 and you have $1. It could be you see somebody, you have a friend that has a flat tire and they need a ride somewhere to get a spare. There's so many different things you can do that doesn't involve, for those that might be struggling themselves, especially right now when times are hard, that doesn't involve money, to help other people. And that goodness will come back to you. So let's see. We have wishful thinking. You are learning how to manifest the life that you desire. Yes, this month, like I was talking about with the career, and just in general. We are going to be going through so much growth this month. It's going to be crazy. In regards to everything, really, like ourselves as an individual, our self-growth, our growth in regards to career, our growth in regards to relationships with family and friends and romantic relationships. So this is going to be, I feel like Oh, excuse me. I need to take a drink of water. Okay. I feel like by the time the end of August comes around, we're all going to be in so many different places, but not necessarily in a bad way. In a good way. We're going to have a lot of growth. Entrepreneur. Be on the lookout for exciting business opportunities to unfold. Anybody who's thought about starting a business, has started a business, or is, you know, they've been trying to work on it for a while and maybe they're like in a little bit of a slump, you know, this coming up month, there's going to be a whole lot more different business opportunities coming towards you as well. Rejoicing. You have learned how to make the most out of life. So I think that also boils down to having gratitude towards the things that you do have now. And then during the whole month, trying to continue to practice having gratitude. I'm a big believer in gratitude is a really big key to manifesting things. Because if you can be grateful for what you have and be grateful and have the positive outlook of being grateful for what you are about to receive, because you need to not only say that you are going to receive what you are trying to manifest, but you have to believe that you are going to receive what you are manifesting, and be grateful for that, because you know you are receiving it, you know it's coming. You know, that really helps with manifesting things that we are hoping to achieve with goals and different things in our life as well. So gratitude. Heavenly helpers. Your spiritual team is guiding you through this difficult situation. So any difficult situations that you're going through, or you're going to be going through this coming up month between now and the end of August, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, passed on loved ones, beings that want the highest good for you and for your life is going to be helping you and guiding you a lot right now. Especially for those that unfortunately might be making changes and having tower moments, that's going to be difficult over the next month. Transitions from jobs. Even though it might be good for you and it's for the best of you, you might be upset because, you know, who wouldn't be upset about quitting a job or losing a job? Sometimes it's scary because you don't know what's going to happen, which goes back to what I was talking about in regards to career and trying to have courage and knowing that everything will be okay. Your spirit guides are going to be with you. It'll work out fine. And fear, like I was talking about just now and earlier about fear and courage. Your fears are keeping you from moving forward into the life that you deserve. Like I was saying, we need to take time to step back and think about these things that are really holding us back like that. Our fear holds us back so much. You'd be surprised how many times in your life have you really wanted to do something but you didn't because you were scared or you were afraid. And when you look back on it now, you might be a little braver than you used to be. You're like, gosh, I wish so much I would have just said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do it. And you wish you would have done it. But, you know, it's because you were afraid to. So it's saying that, you know, now is a really good time with this Capricorn, if I can talk right, with this Capricorn energy to not be scared and to really have the courage to push through to do the things that you really want to do, because you will succeed. And even if it doesn't work out the way you want to, you will gain knowledge from the experience that's going to move you in the direction that you're supposed to be going. All right, you guys. That's pretty much it. For our collective reading for this evening. I think that there might be some moments this month that might be a little scary. because we're going to be making big transitions. But I really feel like it's going to be a very exciting month, and it's also going to, you know, be bringing a lot of positive changes as well. So, like, you know, don't freak out just because it's a full moon. Don't freak out just because Mercury retrograde is coming. I know that's like everybody's automatic instant thing to do, but it'll be fine. So, it'll be all right. Let's see if we can get one more message from the universe, from spirit, for everybody. Ugh. Oh, you're welcome, Sharon. I hope it helped you. I'm glad it helped you. I'm so glad it helped you, honey. All right, let's see. What messages do you have for everybody, Spirit? Can you please... Do you have any messages? Okay. So, it says, take responsibility for your choices. This is your life to live. Own it. Nobody has a say in your life. I know lots of times, you know, we don't do certain things because we don't want to upset our spouse, our friends, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're the one, when you wake up in the morning, that has to live your life. Nobody else does. You're the one that has to deal with the consequences of choices that you make, whether it's good or bad. So it's saying that you need to take responsibility for these choices to live your life, to make you happy and do what you think is best for you. And along the way, if somebody gets upset about it, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others, what does it matter? What does it matter? You have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. Exactly. Everybody has the... You can literally do anything you want to do as long as you put the effort into it. I know for some people it might be a little harder to do, but it's not impossible. Like, gosh, I don't know how many different stories I've read of different people in history who were just basic everyday Janes and Joes, who later on in life, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, created inventions, created a huge career, successful businesses, did, you know, they followed their dreams, things blew up, things went amazingly well for them. So it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what situation you are in, now is not forever. You can figure it out and you can do whatever you need to do to make things happen for you. It's just a matter of, you know, educating yourself, finding out information, asking questions, do what you need to do to make it happen. And your life could change drastically. And don't get me wrong, I'm very fully aware that there's people who have mental and emotional health struggles. I myself, you know, I have PTSD, ADHD, I'm autistic, like depression, anxiety, so I understand. We have our good days and our bad days, and that is perfectly okay. And make sure that when you are having this journey and you're going on this journey, that you keep those things in mind and you do what you need to do for self-care and to take care of yourself along that journey while you are trying to do the things that you really want to do with your life to make yourself happy and to move on and accomplish goals and dreams that you have. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm not, you know, that I'm just saying just do it, hard work, you know. Sometimes it does take hard work, but you also have to make sure you take care of yourself too. Because if you don't, I mean, you're going to get burnt out. Like I was talking about earlier, it's all about balance, you know. That's something I'm still working on myself. So You know, just because I have, you know, I'm giving this advice doesn't mean that I don't also need to follow this advice. And actually, I was just thinking about that earlier today because I have a daytime job and I was actually really tired and I contemplated coming on for this live. And I was just like, you know, I probably really should because this is a part of my dreams and my future goals and the whole big plan that I have brewing for myself. But, you know, I was tired and it's been a really rough week. Wasn't sure, but I figured it out and I jumped on. And I was also, you know, and sometimes things don't have to be perfect. Don't be a perfectionist with things. I have a tendency to do that. I tend to be a perfectionist. And it doesn't help that I have Virgo rising either in regards to that. I'm a Gemini sun, Aries moon, Virgo rising. And like I said, you know, I'm ADHD and all that as well. So like I have a tendency to be like, no, everything has to be, you know, perfect. But everything doesn't have to be perfect. Lots of times it's just a matter of showing up. Like I came out here to do this. I forgot my notebook and I forgot my other phone because I had wanted to play some music in the background so things will be a little more lively. But like I said, I was tired too. So I came out here and I jumped on my live and I did it anyways. Granted, I don't have my phone out here. Granted, I wasn't playing any music. Don't have my notebook, but that's okay. I still did it. We're still here. Same thing applies to life. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so strict on yourself. Sometimes it's just a matter of showing up and putting in the effort that you have to give. All right. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing evening. My name is Julie. You can call me Mama Owl. I love you all very much. Don't forget to go outside and get some fresh air, drink some water, walk around in the dirt with your tootsies out. That helps a lot. And I will see all of you next time. I love you. Have a good night.